5 on your side at 10 starts now.
Sultry summer weather continues with additional storm and shower chances for the week ahead. We're tracking the most likely days you'll see rain.
Curbing the chaos of past 4th of July holidays.
We are doing better, and that's progress, not victory.
A busy weekend for St. Louis police. More than 50 juveniles arrested, their parents cited.
We really want to drive them and guide them towards hope instead of handcuffs.
Plus, water woes in Dogtown.
Definitely having no water sucks.
Have residents barking at the city for action. We start tonight with a weather impact forecast. Good evening, I'm Mike Bush. Spot storms are dying down across the bi-state. They packed a punch with heavy rains and strong winds, including at Lake Lorraine and Swansea. And over in Missouri, storms knocked down power lines in St. Charles in the area of Clemens and Dawson Drives. Tonight, nearly 6,000 Ameren customers on both sides of the river are still in the dark. Weather Impact Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell has been tracking those storms all night, and he joins us now with what you can expect overnight.
They've pretty much fallen apart, Mike. We have very little left in terms of the storms. Ameren is making progress on getting the power outages back. Flights in and out of Lambert largely unimpacted by the storms today. As the storms went around Lambert, they did gust to 40 miles per hour, but didn't even measure rain at the airport. There are a few showers to the south, some rumbles of thunder in there as well, a little cloud of ground lightning over northwest of Mount Vernon, another off to the northwest of Herman here, but right along the front, what's coming down out of Pike County, northern Calhoun County, as it presses closer to St. Louis, this is right along the front. Those showers are dying, the rumbles are fading, and so I don't think we're going to get much more tonight. There were spots, though, that did pick up more than 2 inches of rainfall, including that area around Lebanon, Illinois, with 4 inches earlier today. That did cause some flooding problems. Things have settled down now. That water, for the most part, has drained. We are looking at temperatures at the moment in the mid to upper 70s. And guess what? Out the door tomorrow morning, not a whole lot of change. We're still in the low to mid 70s early tomorrow morning for lows. It's still muggy. And while we'll start with some clouds in the morning, we do expect it to be a bit brighter tomorrow afternoon with a lower rain chance. We will talk more about that and additional rain chances for the week ahead in a few minutes, Mike.
All right, Scott. Tonight, the numbers are in from St. Louis police. They made over 80 arrests over the holiday weekend. Nearly 2/3 of them were juveniles. And now their parents have to answer to police. Just hours ago, 5 on your side's Laura Barczewski talked with the chief. Laura.
Mike, St. Louis Police Chief Robert Tracy says overall this 4th of July weekend plan was effective, and the parental accountability piece, he hopes that will get help to the families and teens that need it. St. Louis police say between July 3rd and 5th, they took 82 people into custody. 56 of them are juveniles. 62 people were taken into custody on the 4th of July alone. Those people were cited for a variety of things, including setting off or possessing fireworks, resisting arrest, assault on a law enforcement officer, stealing, trespassing, driving an ATV, and peace disturbance. There were 12 firearm-related arrests, including a 13-year-old. Citywide, 46 firearms were submitted to the crime lab.
But that's a dangerous situation. You have kids that are throwing fireworks at each other, and also some that have guns on them. And what retaliation can happen. So getting on top of that, this isn't just about fireworks. This is about keeping people safe. And that's our main goal. And I hope that doesn't get lost in everything that we're trying to do.
This weekend, police also held parents accountable for their child's actions, citing them for things like contributing to the delinquency of a minor and discharging fireworks.
Some parents were somewhat surprised to see children fighting off fireworks, or some possessed a deadly weapon, a firearm.
St. Louis Police Chief Robert Tracy says for these families, the conversation may have started with a citation, but he hopes in the end this can steer teens in the right direction.
Hope instead of handcuffs. And why we want to do that, these children need services, some of them. Some of them need some support.
And to do that, he says they're using the Juvenile Detention Center.
We made sure that they can get the triage to social services and then conditions of release. Conditions of release it's court mandated that you go to services, either it's mental health services, addiction services, social services, and that's even for adults. I'm a big believer in that.
Overall, Chief Tracy says this weekend was an improvement.
We have challenges. That's not to dismiss some of the things. We've had a shooting that happened just north of the city this weekend, but compared to where we've been in years past, we are doing better, and that's progress, not victory.
St. Louis police say holiday operations will continue into tonight in some form, and then they're going to take a look at the parental accountability piece after all this is wrapped up and see how it's worked. It may be something they utilize again citywide. Reporting live downtown, Laura Barcheski, 5 on your side.
It was also a busy holiday weekend for St. Louis firefighters. They tell us there were more than 600 calls out for fires during the 4th of July holiday. That is a 60% increase from last year. Nearly 60 of those calls were dumpster fires. Department leaders say this year is especially dangerous because of those tornado-damaged homes.
You've got tarps on roofs, you've got openings, and a firework that gets in there can create even more damage. And cause even, more destruction and pain to a family.
Even after the holiday, firefighters still urge people to be thoughtful about celebrations. New video tonight of a fireworks explosion that injured 6 people in St. Francis County. This happened Friday night at Leadwood City Park. One woman was seriously hurt after falling and hitting her head on the concrete. 5 people suffered minor burns. The cause still under investigation. Authorities also searching tonight for a missing mortar from the fireworks show. Tonight, the death toll from catastrophic flooding in central Texas has risen to 82 as more life-threatening flooding is in the forecast. Among the dead, 28 children. The search continues tonight for the missing, including 10 girls from a summer camp wiped out by the rapidly rising water.
And it was nothing short of horrific to see what those young children went through. And we will remain 100% dedicated, searching for every single one of the children.
President Trump has signed a major disaster declaration. He says he will tour the devastation later this week. Tonight, a Woodson Terrace man is behind bars on second-degree murder charges. Police say Trenton Malloy was arrested for a deadly shooting. It happened overnight inside a home on Lily Jean Drive. The victim's name or motive have not been released. Police say there is no ongoing threat to the community. Tonight, some homes in Dogtown are still without water after a series of water main breaks that started on Friday. 5 on your side's Travis Cummings talked to residents who are calling on the city to take action.
A water-filled sinkhole in Dogtown Sunday, just one sign of multiple water main breaks in the neighborhood. St. Louis Water Division crews were on site working to fix the latest rupture that caused the street to give way.
Part of me wishes I would have extended my vacation a little bit longer.
When Bryce Munn returned home from a 4th of July trip to Michigan, he was met with this flooding on Oakland Avenue.
I guess part of the street, I think, collapsed, and it was just kind of filling up all along Oakland Ave down towards Pat's Tavern and stuff.
Neighbors stepped outside Friday to find brown water pooling in the street and their water supply completely cut off.
It definitely sucks not having water. And I got some water bottles and cases of water to hold me over and stuff.
48 hours later, and this is still a big mess here on Oakland Avenue. Some residents tell me they haven't been able to return home because there's still no water. Checking the website, there's no ETA, and water crews on scene say this is just a very complex issue they're facing.
Sunday afternoon, a city spokesperson told us via text that crews were working to repair a 12-inch water main break and hope to wrap up repairs by late afternoon or early evening.
My dog's thirsty, plus I'm worried about my plants dying.
Linda Gamlin, a longtime Dogtown resident, says water issues like this have become more common.
And our sidewalk has been sinking, and there was a big water main put in last year, and that took a long time, and then it seems like ever since then all these water mains have been breaking.
Now residents just want the water back and long-term fixes in place.
It's definitely not ideal, but I just hope the city can kind of work through it and get services up soon.
Travis Cummings, 5 on your side.
Back in 2023, a major water main break shut down the interstate near Oakland and Tam. That same year, the St. Louis Board of Aldermen approved the first water rate hike in more than a decade for repairs to the city's aging water infrastructure. Funeral arrangements are now set for a St. Louis firefighter who died in the line of duty. Firefighter Lee Krause suffered a medical emergency while on duty and passed away days later. A visitation will be held Tuesday from 2 until 8 at Hoffmeister Colonial Mortuary on Chippewa. His funeral is set for Wednesday morning at 10:30. Krause served the department for nearly 30 years. A new mission for a combat pilot turned dentist.
The reality is the VA providing dental treatment only services about 5% of the veteran population.
Meet the Vietnam veteran helping to fill the gap and restore the smiles of his comrades.
I learned in the military, take care of your troops, they'll take care of you.
A stalled front, a sticky air mass, and stout heating by midweek should force more thunderstorms to develop. A forecast that has July in St. Louis written all over it in 6 minutes.
Making a Difference is sponsored by Midwest Bank Center.
On this 4th of July weekend, when we celebrate freedom and the people who fought for it, one local veteran is still on duty. In tonight's Making a Difference report, how he's found a new mission worth smiling about. At A.T. Still University's Missouri School of Dentistry and Oral Health, you might expect drills and floss. You might not expect a Marine on a mission.
Follow me.
Okay. Here, 79-year-old Dr. Herb Silva proves every day
It was just on that one side in that where that freedom was, right?
that while some people retire from the service, others just find new ways to serve.
I flew almost 1,000 missions in Nam that was supporting the troops, taking care of the troops.
After all those flights over Vietnam as a Marine helicopter pilot, Dr. Silva spent 38 years building a private dental practice. He could have coasted into retirement, but 10 years ago, he discovered his true calling.
It started with just a casual conversation. Hey, wouldn't this be, do you have any veterans around here? Wouldn't it be cool if we came down with veteran students and veteran faculty and treated veterans?
That idea became the Smiles for Veterans program, filling a gap that Dr. Silva says is heartbreaking.
If there's 400,000 veterans in Missouri, the reality is the VA providing dental treatment only services about 5% of the veteran population.
What about the other 95%? Well, that's where Dr. Silva comes in. Every July, more than 120 veterans answer his call.
Sometimes what will happen is
Veterans like 82-year-old Navy man Frank Palazzola,
keep your teeth together and grind to the left.
who spent his service hunting submarines from aircraft carriers.
Open. Go the other side.
Work where one mistake could cost lives.
I was a bad boy when I was growing up and didn't take care of my teeth, and so this was a chance to correct past mistakes.
Does it feel a little better now?
Now he's getting something he earned decades ago.
We just want to make sure it's perfect, but might take a little bit.
Care and kindness.
Everyone that I have met in this program so far has been absolutely wonderful.
It's not a final solution for that tooth.
And Dr. Silva isn't just treating veterans, he's training them.
Do that one next to it, where it magnifies it, yeah.
Students like Coast Guard veteran Brittany McCall.
Honestly, when it comes to veteran, it doesn't matter the generation. We're like magnets. We're just full gravitate one to another every single time.
If it turns into something, if it's throbbing.
Dr. Silva's journey from combat to compassion is proof that the lessons he learned in Vietnam still guide every move he makes.
I learned in the military, take care of your troops, they'll take care of you.
What began as a simple idea has now treated over 2,000 veterans. And while Dr. Silva recently won a Distinguished Humanitarian Award from the International College of Dentists, he says the real prize is watching it all ripple forward.
We've got students who are now licensed doctors in the real world sending us pictures of the veterans that they're treating in their own practices. Well, he's such a whiner, though. You got to be careful about it. You know?
He once flew into combat to save lives. Now this Marine stays grounded.
Hoorah. Thank you for your service, sir.
Giving his fellow veterans something they don't always get, a reason to smile again.
You couldn't ask for a nicer guy.
Thanks, Frank. The upcoming clinic is set for a week from Saturday, July 19th. For information on how to pre-register a veteran, just go to this story on our website, ksdk.com. And a reminder, if you know somebody making a difference for others, let me know by email at mbush@ksdk.com. Survivors from some of the biggest U.S. disasters are getting to tell their stories. It's all part of the new NBC docuseries Survival Mode, which premieres tomorrow night. On the first episode, the people of Joplin, Missouri relived the frightening moments an EF5 twister leveled their town.
I was the last person in the cooler just because I wanted to make sure that we got everybody in there. And I looked out to the front of the store and I saw the window frames and the door frame of the store lift off into the air. Like the tornado was actually picking the front of the store up as I was shutting the cooler door.
The new series from the producers of Dateline, Survival Mode, premieres tomorrow night at 9 right here on 5 on Your Side. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell joined us now with the weather impact forecast. And Scott, it was a busy night.
It was. We had some showers and thunderstorms come through parts of the metro area this afternoon, not only with downpours and not only with a little bit of drainage problems with some flash flooding on the Illinois side. Back to the west of St. Louis, we especially had some of those gusty winds out in St. Charles County. They're very localized, though. There are still about 3,000, 4,000 customers from Ameren on both sides of the river without power. But Ameren is making pretty good progress. At one point, it looked like there were close to 12,000 on both sides of the river. So that's a pretty good drop off in the amount of customers without power. Those lines of showers and rumbles of thunder to our north, that's actually associated with this wimpy little front. That falling apart right now. So not going to see much more than a spritz or two, maybe make it down towards Troy and into St. Paul. Meanwhile, that was your 4 inches in Lebanon, Illinois today. You also had the heavy rain spread all the way over into Fayette County and some wind damage reported over in Fayette County from what looked like a landspout out ahead of the main storm system, which is kind of a different type of tornado, not usually as strong. There's your front that's stalling out across our region. The showers and thunderstorms basically along or ahead of the front. This was the third tropical system in the Atlantic that was named. That's the remnants of Chantal. That's causing flooding tonight in parts of North Carolina. That's headed towards Virginia. Really doesn't have any impact on our weather, but it didn't make for an especially nice beach day in the last 24 hours down there around Myrtle Beach. So tomorrow we have a pretty good day. We have a mix of sun and clouds on the way for us in St. Louis. It's 77 degrees right now. Winds are out of the west at 13 miles per hour. Our peak wind today was a 40-mile-per-hour gust at Lambert, and that came during the thunderstorms. 93 was our high, so the low in the afternoon was 78. The morning low was 80. Now we're down to 77, so that'll go in the record books as low temperature, unless we drop a degree or two more before midnight, which is certainly within the realm of possibility. So overnight, we're around 70 in the outlying areas. Can't rule out still a lingering shower or rumble of thunder, but in general, most of it has ended, and it's not coming back as we head into the remainder of the overnight hours. So it's mostly much quieter. As we go through the next 5 days, tomorrow we probably get a break. South of St. Louis, there is the chance you'll see some showers and thunderstorms. As we go into Tuesday and Wednesday, that chance will increase again. And so with the temperatures a bit, we're back around 90, maybe 91 degrees here as we head into Tuesday afternoon. Steamy, sticky, stuffy, and we'll keep that going through the rest of the week. Maybe another little break on Thursday from rain chances before they return on Friday, and then into the upcoming weekend, at least the chance for scattered showers or thunderstorms.
Time to go on the move. I'm Paul Cook, your traffic guide from Today in St. Louis. More work is being done on that $52 million safety improvement project to reduce fatal and serious injury crashes in St. Louis County, and Jefferson County. During the last 5 years, there have been more than 1,600 accidents on Route 30 in Jefferson County, many of them fatal. We're talking about a 20-mile stretch that extends from Route Y to Old Sugar Creek Road. MoDOT has already started installing a wide range of safety improvements in the area, but more is on the way. This massive project includes a lot of specific spots that still need attention.
Each location is just dependent on the type of countermeasure. So it could be an intersection, it could be a curve, and so of course different countermeasures are going to be implemented throughout the different 230 locations.
Safety improvements on Route 30 include LED stop signs, signal upgrades, and narrowing travel lanes to slow drivers down around curves.
So this is a 2-year construction span project. We started last year in 2024, and this should be completed by the middle of 2026.
Just about a year left, so be patient. These improvements will eventually save you time on your commute and keep us all safer on the road. Paul Cook, 5 on your side.
A fireworks fiasco caught on camera, the illegal holiday fun that turned into trips to the hospital. 6 people are recovering tonight after a fireworks malfunction in Alabama. The unlicensed display was being set off from a pontoon boat in a reservoir on the 4th of July. The extent of the injuries, that has not been released yet. Special agents were able to render the remaining unexploded fireworks safe. Developing tonight, Israel and Houthi rebels in Yemen are exchanging airstrikes following a Houthi attack in the Red Sea. There are no immediate reports of injuries. The attacks come just hours before Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is set to meet with President Trump at the White House. The president is expected to press Netanyahu to end the 20-month war in Gaza. Tonight, countries around the world have 3 days to come to a trade deal with the United States or face a tariff increase. The Trump administration says those who do not make deals by Wednesday will, quote, boomerang back to April's tariff level. The president paused those increases to allow negotiations. The U.S. has only announced the beginnings of trade deals with a few countries so far, including the UK, Vietnam, and China. A true warrior. The debilitating disease not stopping an American Ninja Warrior from returning to the arena. And 5 on Your Side's Art Holiday is retiring after 46 years, and you're invited to the Art of Farewell. Former and current co-workers will be there for a lighthearted roast. It's July 15th at the Missouri History Museum. Happy hour starts at 5. The free program starts at 6:30. Tomorrow night, there will be an inspirational comeback at NBC's American Ninja Warrior. 50-year-old Jimmy Choi competed on the show years ago, but tremors from Parkinson's disease forced him to retirement. Now, he is back. He was diagnosed 22 years ago and found the high-intensity training helped slow the advancement of his disease. Now he's competing alongside his daughter, and you can watch Jimmy's comeback tomorrow night at 7 on 5 on Your Side. Also taking on the course tomorrow night, Nikki Zink of Baldwin and Jamie Ron of Troy, Missouri. And there you have it, 5 on Your Side at 10. We're always streaming on 5+. Don't forget to start your day with Today in St. Louis beginning at 4 a.m. Now, Sports Plus.